Aloha and shalom. We're here for the final quarter activation. So last week we had the full moon, which was all about the fullness of the picture being revealed to us. And now we're at the final quarter, which is where we start to process and integrate that information in a way that's going to support us in our new beginning next week with the next new moon. So I love the final quarter because it is the in-between week, as I like to call it. We're closing up one cycle and preparing for the next one. So we're saying, all right, this is what happened this past cycle. This is what I'm going to take from what I've been shown. This is what I'm going to integrate. This is how I'm going to process it. This is how I'm going to make the most of what I've been shown so that I can put my best foot forward next week with the new cycle that's about to begin. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle while you guys tune in. And let me know in the comments where in the world you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from the Verde Valley, Arizona. Where in the world are you? And hang tight if you feel like you have some decisions to be made that you haven't felt you're ready to make yet. You might feel like I have all the information. Why am I hesitating? It's because you haven't processed yet. You haven't let this information catch up to you yet. It's just the time to really take everything in and begin to allow it to actually settle. To begin just now for the week ahead to make sense of everything that's unfolded in this past cycle. And feel free to share this video now while we're live with family or friends or someone who could use some inspiration, a message of guidance right now. Or feel free to share the recording at the end. It will go to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, for anyone who's not on Facebook. Gonna go ahead and shuffle the Hebrew deck. It looks like this. Works the same way as the tarot. Pretty much. Giving thanks in advance for this message that's about to come through. Thank you, archetypes, faces of the one. We are here, now, ready. Okay, beginning first with the tarot deck. As usual, we're going to start with the focus, also known as the challenge and gift. Then where we're launching from that has brought us to this moment and why we're going through this. And then the main Hebrew letter ally of the week. Here we go. Nine of Cups as the focus or the challenge and gift. Okay, very straightforward, plain and simple. This is all about fulfillment of the heart, okay? It's a 9, so it's an ending, it's completion. And it's the suit of cups, so it's the heart, emotions, feelings, water. And if this is the challenge and gift right now, we're being challenged when we ask ourselves, what is actually going to fulfill my heart right now? What is it that I truly, truly want? You may feel that there are multiple options for that right now. You might feel like, wow, I could really go this way or that. Or you might feel like I don't see any options for that. So right now we are figuring it out. We are figuring it out. And because it's the final quarter, it's about really looking at what has your challenge been this month? What lessons are you learning? And it's always in regard to virtuous embodiment. So what virtue or which virtues have you been struggling with? Whether that is coming from yourself or another who is you. What has the theme been? Is it perhaps around, dishonesty, impatience, gluttony? What is the vice and what is the virtue? Because they're always a pair. So looking at that, starting there, we can go deeper and figure out from there what is it that I really want? Okay, so for example, if your lesson this month has been around honesty, and again, that could be you, it could be another, or it could be both ways, whatever, then you want to ask yourself, what has that shown me about myself? What has it shown me about the people that I've been surrounding myself with? What has it shown me about my choices in thought, speech, and action? And from there, you can say, okay, I realize what my heart desires is to be embodying more of that virtue. Okay, because it's not just about your heart, it's about, if you put parentheses around the why, right? Y-O-U-R, it's about our heart, our one heart. That's where the truth really lies. So it's never really about that car or that house or that, even that relationship. All those things are temporary in the bigger picture. So it's really always at the deepest level about the light, which is the only thing that's eternal, the only thing that lasts forever. So that's why I say start there. It's like go straight to the root, right? Ask yourself which virtue, maybe there's multiple, but start with one. Which virtue has been the main theme this month that I'm working on, or that I'm noticing, that I'm paying attention to, that I'm magnetized to this month? That is it right there. That is the key to understanding what it is my and our heart really wants right now. And there are maybe many things. You could argue that, well, maybe my heart wants many things. Maybe our one heart wants many things, but ultimately, no. Ultimately, no. The one heart, the collective heart, which is the most important, which you could see as like the roots of the tree, which then has the fruits that are all of our hearts, for example, right? So if you go straight to that root of that tree, or even let's say the seed, right, all the way, the answer is always, what does that one heart want? What does the one want? To bring heaven to earth, to bring soul into body, unity, union, and that looks like embodying the light of the virtues. That's what it looks like, because all of the virtues together make up the all virtuous light of compassion. Okay, so if you put them all together, they make up this great white light that is compassion, which embodies all the other virtues. So ultimately, that's what it's always about. And it can get confusing if you don't go straight there, because if you look at the world of multiplicity and you're looking out there and not in here, it gets muddy, it gets confusing, it gets complicated, it's complex, and it doesn't have to be that way. So you want to go all the way from the beginning. So again, if this is the challenge and gift right now, asking ourselves, what is truly going to fulfill my heart? Where do I even start? What will fulfill my heart? Where do I even start? Start with the past few weeks. What has the main virtue in the spotlight been? That's where you need to be at. Okay, so for example, if it's dishonesty, you want to look at, okay, what my heart really wants, what the one heart really wants me to focus on right now, make my heart's goal, is the embodiment of that virtue. That's true fulfillment of the heart, that the one heart that really matters. That's where you start. Okay. And for example, if you start there and you say, okay, well, it's dishonesty. So what I need to focus on for fulfillment of my heart is embodying more of that honesty. Thinking, speaking, and acting in ways that are going to move me in the direction of embodying that honesty. Making choices in my relationships that are going to surround me with that frequency of honesty, for example, right? And from there, everything else falls into place. Whereas if you didn't make it about the virtues and you didn't go all the way and you just made it about some superficial outside thing, oh, well, what my heart wants is that car. Like, you're never going to get all the way there, okay? Water the roots, not the fruits. Okay? So if you start there with the virtue, everything else will fall into place. You don't have to work so hard. Work smarter, not harder. Focus on the path of virtue and the steps will be shown to you. So that's the challenge right now, to look at what really does my heart want. It's what the one heart wants, which is heaven on earth, which is soul embodied. Which means I have to look at what is the lesson of the month. Which virtue does that, which virtue is in the middle of that? Which virtue is being highlighted right now for me to embody more of that light? That's what your heart really wants, because that's what the one heart really wants. And if you start there, all of the material details of that will unfold from there, more effortlessly, more gracefully, and you don't have to try so hard. Just stay focused on the path, which only involves the embodiment of that light. And that can seem really like ambiguous to somebody. Like, what do you mean embodying the light? I just explained it to you. It's just virtues. So what is the one, or maybe two, but start with one virtue that has been asking for you to embody more of its light? By the way, these cards, these archetypes, are personifications of the virtues. So you can use them as your allies to embody more of that virtuous light. That's the whole point of this type of tarot reading or activation. What brought us here? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, super clear information incoming. What brought us here is this initiation to create something new, okay? So you may have been feeling in the last few weeks this urge, this need to have a new creation, get creative, come out of your shell, come out of your hiding, and really make something in your life. Take your relationship to the next level, take your relationships to the next level, change up your house, maybe even fully move house, maybe move to another state or country, right? There's been this this inspiration, or maybe even pressure to get going, to get creating, to write the next chapter of your life. But we're like at a pause right now at this final quarter where we're resting and integrating everything that we saw this past week from the full moon, preparing to start a new cycle. We're going, oh, okay, so I felt that inspiration and maybe even pressure to create this next thing, right? In all areas of my life, maybe in 1, 2, 3 areas, or maybe all areas of your life. We're feeling it so powerfully. But now we're pausing at the perfect time, final quarter moon, to go, let me refine and realign. What does my heart really want? So that when I step into creative mode, I have a real goal behind it that is immaterial, that is beyond time and space, that can be the foundation of whatever creation, materialistically speaking, comes next. So it's like if we were to just go without this sacred pause and this intentional pause and integration, it wouldn't be as meaningful, it wouldn't be as potent, it wouldn't be as sustainable. So we can take this guidance and really up level here and really be sure that whatever it is we've been feeling this urge to create is going to be created with our best foot forward, is going to be created in a way that it really is for your highest good and the highest good of everyone around you, and even the highest good of all as one. Okay, so if you want to maximize the potential of whatever it is you're creating right now, maybe even many things you're creating right now, it's about using the sacred pause of the final quarter moon to really realign with what does my heart really want to feel fulfilled. It's what the one heart really wants to feel fulfilled, which is heaven on earth, which is soul in body, which means focusing at least on one virtue to start and focusing on embodying more of the light of that virtue, period. So pick one and start. And then you could even kind of meditate, even, just visually, internally, on what it is you've been trying to create. Let's just say it's like change up the space in your house. Let's just start there. Let's say you're trying to change up the space in your house and you've been feeling stuck. I don't know how to do it. And then you connect that to, oh, well, I've been having some real lessons in, the virtue of honesty versus the vice of dishonesty. So how can I see in my mind's eye that once I'm embodying more of that light of honesty, that actually the energy will flow from my core and from the center of my heart to serve me, to carry me through this process of creating a new energy, a new flow, new feng shui in my home, right? When you start to ask that, everything starts to shift, everything starts to change, your frequency starts to shift, therefore you start to see the reflection of that in your environment. So whatever it is you've been trying to create begins to manifest more effortlessly and from that wholesome, truest place of deep within your heart. Understand? So this is a sacred pause to connect what you've been trying to create next to the path of virtue. How will it look once I've already locked in that higher frequency, which is a reflection of me doing that inner work to embody more light of this virtue or that virtue or all of the virtues, or simply put, the all virtuous light of compassion. And when you do that, little by little, your meditation will deeper and you'll really start to see, before it even crystallizes, you will start to see a clear vision of how that can manifest in a way that yesterday you couldn't even imagine. You couldn't even fathom. And now you're going, whoa, I see it. Now I really see it. And now I really feel it. And that feeling is the power that emotion, energy in motion that you need to actually spin that vision into manifestation. That's the true inspiration, when you can really see it and feel it on the deepest level, connecting it to the light of the one, the light eternal, which is the light of your true essence, which is the light of the virtues. Okay, it's all connected. Why we're going through this? We have another 9. So we have, it's always so powerful with these collective activations, isn't it? So we have 2 9s and an ace. So we have an ace, an initiation, and then we have 2 9s, 2 endings, 2 completions. Okay, so if we have the 9 of Wands as the foundation for why we're going through this, it's saying, enough. You've been carrying a heavy weight. You've been making it harder than it has to be for yourself. You've been feeling like you're struggling, and it's all good. It's all good. But you don't have to anymore. You can set down that weight. You can finally step into a new chapter in a way beyond what you've been thinking. You've been thinking, I'm going to step into a new chapter by creating that myself. And I'm going to have a new house, or I'm going to have this new dog. I'm going to have this new friend. I'm going to new. No, that's going to be born effortlessly of the deeper unfolding behind that, which is a spiritual process. Okay? 9 of Wands is the ending of a long time lesson on your path. It's putting down a heavy weight and starting a new lesson on the path, because it's never really over, right? So it's saying that ending you've been wanting, that completion, that setting that weight down and finally stepping into a newer, lighter chapter, a new journey, can be yours. And this is how you do it. This is how you set the weight down. You stop trying to create. You pause at the perfect time, final quarter moon, week before the new moon again. And you say, hold up, let me refine, let me realign with what's really important. What virtue am I needing to embody right now? And as I do that, that light will project the path forward. That light will show the way forward. And all that is meant to be created will be created from that deepest place, not from your ego, not from just your human mind. It will be an absolute manifestation of the light that you cultivated within yourself. That's how that next chapter is going to be created. That's how you're going to finally move forward. That's how you're going to finally feel lighter. That's how you're going to finally put down this heavy weight you've been carrying. And we have the Dalet. And I'm going to tell you why this is the perfect Hebrew ally of the week. It looks like this. Remember, it's flipped because we're on the camera. You can Google it, D-A-L-E-T, Hebrew letter Dalet. It's the 4th letter of the Aleph Bet. And the hieroglyphic symbol for this letter is a door. A door, right? Like 4 corners, think like a rectangle, a door. It's the doorway of potential. Step into the doorway of potential. And how we do that, how we actually step through the doorway to potential, is through action. It's through structure. It's through creating a plan, through having a right pattern to follow to execute the mission from beginning to end. 4 is also connected to Arcanum 4, the Emperor, which again is all about structure, pattern, the law, how to follow it through all the way to the end result. So the Dalet tells us, if you want to step through that door and you want to access your Dalet, deepest potential, then it's time to pause. Stop trying to create. You have a missing piece to the puzzle before you can move forward whole and fully present with a higher frequency than ever before. That's how you're going to walk through that door, is by creating this new blueprint, is by looking back at this month and saying, this is the virtue of choice that I need to work on. And then that virtue becomes something that you work to embody. And that process becomes the doorway, the portal of potential that you enter in order to once and for all end a cycle, a specific lesson on your spiritual path, so that you can finally close up that old thing and start the new. So if you've been wanting to create something new, just pause for a moment, right? Final quarter, pause. And go, what is it that I've really been trying to create? Let me just remember who I really am and why I'm really here. And pull back from this material reality. Go back inside of myself to the deepest place. And say, oh yeah, what I really want to create is more light in this world, because that's the only thing that lasts forever. And it is me. I am that. We are that one eternal light. And as I remember that, I can enter back into the physical realm and say, oh, yeah, I see this thing that I wanted to create. I actually don't want to create it anymore. So that frees up a lot of space. Or, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, this thing that I've been working to create, I can now see the flaws in my strategy to get that, to manifest that, because I was a little bit disconnected from the truth. I was a little bit disconnected from myself and the real great one plan of why we're here, why I'm here. And now that I've reconnected to that truth of the path of virtue, the royal path, I can enter back into this realm and I could be so in it, but remember that I'm not of it. And I can continue to pursue the goals that are actually worthy, freeing up energy by canceling the ones that weren't, putting more presence and power into the worthy pursuits, and refine the path in each of those pursuits, refine my strategy in each of those pursuits to be more simple and not as complex, to be more graceful and not as chaotic, simply by going into the center of my heart and reconnecting to the path of virtue. And again, that can look like maybe you're focusing on honesty, maybe you're focusing on patience, maybe you're focusing on moderation, whichever one. They're all rivers that lead to the same ocean of compassion, which is all of the virtues as one. So pick one, just pick one that you feel has been more of a focus for you in your life at this time, and ride that river to the ocean, baby. It's the path straight to the heart. So pick that virtue and hold on tight and really aim to stay on the path by focusing on embodying that light, the light of that virtue. And along the way, other virtues, okay? Just because you choose to focus on honesty doesn't mean that, you're not going to have a chance to focus on the other virtues in the in-between moments. Every moment, there's a chance to embody any one of the virtues. That's the real game. When you get there, you're good. You're really good. You're really solid. Okay? So you may pick one virtue, but there may be opportunities to be all of those virtues in any given moment, and take every opportunity you can, because that's the game. That's the beauty of why we're here. That's the purpose. All the things that you thought that you needed that you didn't will fall away effortlessly. The path you had been walking that felt so difficult is all of a sudden going to become lighter and easier, because as you're moving, I see the visual that as you're moving toward that thing that you've been wanting to create, you all of a sudden feel lighter, because the work has been inner work. And now you're really focusing on what matters, that inner work. And as you do that, your energy lightens up, your vibration increases, and you start to glide, fly, like an angel on that same path you were walking yesterday, but now it feels lighter. Now it feels more graceful. Now it feels more empowered. Now it feels more supported. Now it feels more nourishing on the deepest level, because it's actually, now we alchemized this path to be more soul work and not just empty soulless work, okay? So it's like you might still be after the same goals that you were after yesterday, but you've reconnected them to the light. You've reconnected them to your true power, which is your purity, your light. Our light, eternal. So you'll enter back into this physical realm full, present, connected to your true source of power, which is the one. The more you disconnect from that in mind and in heart, the harder everything becomes, because you're not actually truly disconnected. Just in your mind, you think you are. And so then everything becomes more difficult, because everything then becomes a lesson to reconnect, because that's the most important thing. If you're not connected, everything has to refocus to teach you that same lesson again, that you have to stay connected. So do the work to stay connected so that everything else can flow like water. Okay, so that's why we're going through this. If you want to open the Dalit doorway of potential, work smarter, not harder. Reconnect to the path. Pick one virtue to focus on. Stay there, stay focused like you're walking a tightrope. And all the things that you've been wanting to manifest, you'll either not care about anymore, or you'll pursue in a way that is wiser, again, that is more graceful, that is more connected to not just your soul's work, but our collective soul work. So get that. Keep going. Keep going, keep growing, keep glowing. Just rest this week and really take in everything that's happened to you and look at all of the ways in which these circumstances are pointing to maybe one virtue, maybe two virtues, and start there. Happy final quarter. I'll see you guys next week for the new moon so we can see what we're getting ourselves into and how far we've come and, you know, what we're starting with. And in the meantime, if you want a one-on-one reading, please reach out to me, royalpathreadings@gmail.com, to book a live video chat reading. I also do recorded readings if you prefer that and don't want to do live and don't want to see my face. Happy to do either one. Just email me with any questions, royalpathreadings@gmail.com, or private message me here and I'll get back to you. If you are interested in my books, I happen to be carrying my book around today. If you're interested in the Royal Path books, please reach out to me. I've got Royal Path 1, 2, and 3 now. They're each obviously a bit different. You don't need to get them all as a collection, but I would absolutely start with Royal Path 1. This is the updated version, you guys. So if you have the old version, you might want to get the new print, and it's hardcover. It's super cool. Yeah, so if you want to connect to your archetypes in this sort of way, right? Because every reader is different. This is my way. This is just my unique way of doing it. And if you want to learn more about how to do that too for yourself, then let me know. I'll ship the book from my hands to yours with a special message and a special bookmark for my personal collection, which is sort of like getting a spontaneous reading, because I have a collection of tarot cards that are just random, and I pick one and I write the message in your book based on that card, and you get to keep it. So it's pretty cool. And of course, you might get this book and you might connect to the way that I teach it, the way that I express the tarot, the archetypes, but ultimately you make it your own, because the way that I share it is meant to guide you to that place of being able to shape these archetypes in your own image. Otherwise, in my opinion, there's no reason to connect to them at all. There's no reason to connect to yourself at all in a deeper way, unless it's going to be absolutely authentic. So if you want to start that process, let me know, reach out. Again, private message me or email me, royalpathreadings@gmail.com. All right, guys, thank you for doing the work, and I'll see you next week for the new moon.